Indy Mogul.
Hey guys, before we get to the Friday 101 mailbag for this week, I just want to let you know about another interview that I'll be doing in the near future, this time with a little bit more time to prepare. And once again, I'd like to get questions from all of you. My guest's name is David Tuckerman, and unlike with the Kevin Spacey interview, you probably haven't heard his name before. That's because he worked behind the scenes in a pretty substantial capacity. He was the president of distribution for New Line Cinema for many years, having since retired from that position. He had a very interesting career overseeing the release of major hits like the Lord of the Rings Trilogy, in which he had a hand in crafting the movie-a-year release strategy. Sleeper hits that surprised everyone like Wedding Crashers, which he chose to open against Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, a move that many thought would doom its box office take, but instead it had staying power and made over $200 million. And he was there for the disappointments like Snakes on a Plane and the major box office failure of the movie adaptation of Golden Compass. Feel free to Google him, do a little research, and then send your questions to Friday101mail@gmail.com. Subject line David Tuckerman Question so that we can, find it in the midst of everything. Look forward to seeing what questions you guys have, and I promise this time I actually can ask your questions, as it's not a press junket, it's an actual sit-down one-on-one interview. Let's get to the mailbag for this week. Cue the intro. What's up, Indy Mogulers? Welcome to Friday 101 for another edition of the Friday 101 mailbag. Due to that long intro before and the fact that 4th of July comes right in the middle of my work week next week, totally throwing off my regular schedule, I'm gonna answer a few more questions than usual and put up part 2 next Friday. So let's get to the first question. Who's up first? Daniel Ball asks a few questions about an upcoming video shoot he has going on. First, he says, we're going to be in different locations all throughout the day and night, and we will most certainly run a spot with bad lighting. Mostly I would like some tips for shooting in low light areas with only the natural light to use, since we don't have time to set up lighting fixtures and such. Shooting outside can be a real pain when the natural light continuously changes, and especially sucks when the sun starts going down and you still have to keep shooting. One thing that can help in this situation quite a bit is reflected light. You can do this with pretty much any bright, flat, portable surface, and a great cheap solution can be using a few white poster boards you can get for a few dollars, if even that, at a Walmart, Target, dollar store even. But one piece of equipment no one should be without is a collapsible reflector. You can find these pretty cheap online. I bought mine at Amazon for under $20. I'll put the link for that in the description below. The one I got has multiple options depending on how bright you need your light to be. Or if you even want to use it to cut light, it can do that too. It's also pretty big. God. So if you're in a situation where the sun is starting to set and your subject is now backlit by it, bounce that sun right back. It also helps to fill in shadows on a subject's face and is great for a little extra boost in light in just about any situation. We used it throughout the shoot of my Western tribute Bible Belt, and it's a good thing or we would never have been able to see Larry's face under the shadow that hat cast. Daniel also asks, for some shots I would like to play with the aperture, making the subject in focus with the background blurry. Any help making that work would be nice. The camera he's working with is a regular video camera, not a DSLR, and it can be harder to get a shallow depth of field with cameras like that. The best I can say when working with cameras like these is to keep the in-camera brightness as high as possible. My old VX2100 and FX1 both had f-stop settings, so if your cam has that, all the better. And while it might not always be appropriate, you'll get shallower video the more you zoom in on the subject. Optical zoom, not digital zoom. Digital zoom is the worst. Jeffrey Diaz wrote, hello Russell, do you know an Indy Mogul fan in Southeast Oklahoma? I guess I do now. Another Daniel Hart, hey, he was on Mogul or Made yesterday. He writes, hey Russell, I have never owned a light kit before, but I'm looking to buy one for our videos. Most of our videos are shot indoors in a well-lit space, usually by sunlight, but I'm looking for something that will help keep the subject well lit and eliminate any shadows that may be on their face. Light kits can get expensive. It's hard to recommend anything overly cheap. There is something like this lantern, which I got for I think $20 at Home Depot a while back, but it's really better for very low light shooting. I used it and nothing else for this music video shot at night in a limo and got great results. Same with this $20 or so LED light, which we used during this Doom shoot in Maine last October. Also, don't forget Griffin's DIY video light for $86 from a few months back. But if you're not good at building things or have no workshop to do things like this, like, me, Here's what I did for a light kit. First, I bought 3 160 LED lights off Amazon for a bit under $40 each. Then I got 3 light stands for $75 off eBay, complete with carrying case, which was kind of a joke since I could never actually get them back in and I had to cut holes in the end of it to make them fit again. But hey, free bag. They run off battery power, so they're portable, which is a huge help. You can use AA batteries, a lot of them, or you can do what I did and buy large rechargeable batteries online for about $20 each. So for the full 3-point lighting setup, I spent about $260. Not bad for a portable lighting kit. Anybody else with a good lighting setup, feel free to share down in the comments. That's actually it for this week. Next week we'll get through more than we did this week. I just really had to get that info out at the beginning. So don't forget, get your questions for David Tuckerman in as soon as you can. I should probably be doing the interview in the next week or two. Also, for those who remember my co-host, Chad Newhall from Movie Quest, he is heading back to California this weekend to try and make it as an actor. Show him your support by checking out his Facebook, and also he has his own personal YouTube channel. We'll put that up there right now. If you want to keep track of what he's doing, he'll be able to put a lot of videos up on there, and anything more major will be on Hey Killer Films. Also, if you have anything you'd like to ask for future editions of the mailbag, send your questions to friday101mail@gmail.com. We'll see you back here next week for Moguler Made and for the rest of Friday 101 Mailbag. See you then.